Vici, hello.
Hello.
This has been a long time coming. I feel like we've been trying to find time to
I
finally
know.
have a
I
conversation and
think it's
record
been
this.
like, I don't know, 2 months since
Yeah,
we are come up with the idea.
for sure. Yeah, and I mean, we see each other all the time and never seem to find the time to
Yeah.
just get in. But
Today's the day.
I remember the time we met sitting at Obsidian. So for anyone listening, the gym that we train in, it has like the recovery room, the pool, and
Yeah.
like I literally was just sitting down having a coffee.
Just like here.
Just like here, honestly, just like here. You came in,
He was
sat
like,
down.
I think you just finished your workout, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey girl, I'm just always say hi to everyone.
I know you were
Trying to
super
be-
friendly, and I just like I think it was only my first month in Bali, so I still didn't
Yeah,
really know
yeah.
anyone there. I didn't know anyone at Obsidian, so it's a very influencery gym. So when
Yeah.
I first joined, I was a bit overwhelmed, although I'm training for the last like 7 years.
But I feel like Obsidian is the place where if you're ever want to come to Bali, Obsidian is the place where you want to connect with people, work out, meet friends. Because we're too going to be there all the time. I literally say hi to everyone. I just treat everybody like my friend. So, and we have an instant connection straight away. I feel like with you, you're just so easy to be around with.
Oh, thank you. But same
Yeah.
with you. And I felt since that day, we actually spoke about recording a podcast together.
Yeah.
And like Transform with MG podcast didn't even exist there. But I was like, I'd love
No
to
way.
have. Yeah, no, I just had an idea.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that one. I didn't know that you haven't started the podcast yet.
No, I had an idea of like always kind of wanting to
Yeah.
have conversation with interesting people and also share value to anyone that's following me, also answer like my clients' questions.
Yeah.
But it was just in my head. But instantly, because we had a connection, I was like, oh my God, that
Yeah,
would be so
why
good.
don't we do this, right?
Yeah.
I feel like also nowadays there are so many information out there about fitness and you never know what is right and what is wrong. And also like to be honest, having a coach is gonna be very helpful, helping you to like actually find what works for you. And I feel like having a podcast like this where I think your community and my community can learn from, because I think we both have a very crazy transformation, and so many people can resonate with that. And also like our instant connection as a friend. It's just like I feel like the time is right.
For sure, yeah. And we have, I'm sure we're going to get into that in the podcast, but we have a both very similar background in terms of how, or transformation,
Yeah.
in terms of like what got us into fitness and then what
Yeah.
our mission and purpose is right now.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a specific like schedule or the way this is going to flow. So I have a
Yeah,
few
yeah,
points written down and like, we're just going to see,
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
can
see.
talk for
We're
hours.
literally we can talk for hours without have. Oh my gosh, I remember when we have a sleepover. That's insane. Like we talk for I don't know from 7 p.m. to 12. Dude,
And then watch dog videos on TikTok.
from shitty one to deep conversation, and we're gonna like yeah. So I feel like having a podcast will be a good idea.
Yeah, so recently you received a comment from a person that you had a close connection with. I don't know if I can say. Your
Yeah,
ex?
yeah, my
Yeah.
ex.
Commenting
My
on
ex.
the commenting, I should have, but like commenting on the fact that you have put on weight.
Yeah.
And you previously struggled with disordered eating
Yeah.
and body dysmorphia and everything like that. How did that make you feel? How did you react to that situation? And what have you like learned or
Yeah. So, whew.
going
Anyways,
deep?
I'm gonna go deep. Anyways, yeah, the first time when I received that message, I was laughing, literally. I laughed because I was like, what? Because don't get me wrong, I was super insecure before. I was always self-conscious, so obsessed being skinny. Like literally starved myself to just fit into this Asian beauty standard. Because in Asia, if you're not skinny, you're not having a pale skin, you're ugly. I'm going to say that. Yeah, that's how hard it is to grow up in this culture. So yeah, and I was laughing because now that I feel, I'm grateful that I'm in this, a good mental state. Like I'm super happy with myself. I'm proud of how my body capable of, and I'm proud of how I build my strength, and I built this, and it's like, how do I say? When I received the message, I was laughing because, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in the happiest I ever been in my life, and then someone that I used to love made that comment, and he knows how unhappy I was before. Every time we go out, I always like, I'm not gonna eat this. It's gonna make me fat, literally. And then every week, every day, I woke up straight away with myself, you know, if I gain only 100 grams of weight, I'm gonna freak out. And I'm always starve myself because I want to have flat stomach, everything flat, And to know that he's not even acknowledging that point, and he just made a comment out of nowhere. He doesn't have any right to say something like that to me. He's not, no, So I didn't reply straight away. I give it one day. I literally do my things. I even forgot, like that night, oh, I need to reply back. But I sent him a voice note. So I take my power back. I'm not gonna make his comment as how do I say it? To affect me anymore. And I'm like, I send him a voice note. You know what? From all the people in the world, why you? And that's make me angry. And you know how unhappy I was, and now I'm super happy with myself. I'm super happy with what I built. I'm super happy where I am now. And then you made this comment, you have no rights. And I told him that our chapter is closed, so you have no right to say anything like that to me anymore. And also, like, that shows me that people do change. And some days I never, I read this quotes, or I read the book about how people you think, or you used to love, they can turn their back against you. Now I know,
Realized
And yeah,
firsthand.
and also like have building your self, like building resilience inside you, and you trust yourself. It's so important because at the end of the day, you it's okay if people like say something bad about you or whatever, but you have to have yourself, you have to have your own back. There, I'm beautiful.
You
Yeah, okay, I'm
are.
beautiful. but
Preaches.
but I'm also grateful that I have a lot of genuine people in my life surrounds me, you know and that's why I know where if someone I can sense if someone's are not genuine with me, and I feel bad for him because I don't even know if he's happy or not. But if I know deep down I couldn't say anything bad to other people, where I'm happy with myself. And now I'm super happy. I see people, I see the best from them. And I see everybody is having their own potential. And to me, like, I will never say something about or body shaming someone. They're never in my mind as well, because I generally feel like if you're truly happy with yourself, you'll never do that.
For sure.
And like, yeah, and I feel like that comment, it just shows him, it just shows who he is, and it has nothing to do with me.
You
So
obviously have a very strong mindset, and you're very resilient, and you're able to see the bigger picture and recognize that it's not about you, it's about the other person reflecting perhaps his insecurities. Were you always like that? Was your mindset always so strong?
no, um, oh no, hell no. Some days it will get me, especially when you have bad days, and then you receive the comment, you're gonna like, oh my gosh, why. But I think, um, I don't know if you have ever heard about delay when you're angry. The things to what's called to like not against it, but like to deal with anger is delay.
Or
Like
delay your
delay
reaction to a
reaction, yeah.
situation? Yeah.
So I think that works for me in my case. In any situation, I think I always like, okay, don't react to it, so hold on. So it is hard, especially when you need to act immediately in some case like business or whatever. But I think it's also okay to slow down. Just trust the universe. What is meant to be, it will be. It is fucking hard, especially when you deal with something. Okay, I have to reply to my client this and this and this and this. Let's say your phone is stolen, so you have to buy a new phone. But sometimes you just need to sit back, breathe, you know tell yourself it is okay, the world can wait, now take care of you first, because you cannot pour to other or pouring to anything, to your work, to people, to help other to help clients or to help your family if you are not taking care of yourself first. So I always believe that, so I always delay, you know
That's
I'm not gonna react to it. It is hard though.
for sure, yeah. But like, obviously, you've done a lot of work in
Yeah.
order to be able to be in that position
Yeah.
to do that. Is there anything that you think helped to build up
I
your
think
mindset
I
to
think
that point?
training. In training, I'm not gonna be cringe, but fitness saved my life. To be honest, everything that I've done in the gym, it transferred to all aspect in my life. With training, you cannot rush your progress. You need to be patient with your process, especially if you've been training for years and years. You know that you cannot skip any step. You cannot skip any step, and you need to wait. That's kind of like give me it's transferred to how I react to problem as well. So I know this thing will take time, and I don't know what I forgot. It's something that I want to say, but it's yeah. So I feel like with training, because when you for example, you need to do squat 3 sets of 12 reps. You cannot jump to the second set if you're not resting enough. You also kind of need to listen to your body, right? So the aim is to execute each set with the right form, with the uh, right what's called right tempo. So to be able to do that, you kind of need to wait a little bit. So I think that's also what, I don't know, you're doing training so many times, and then when you receive, or you facing, or not receive, when you're facing a resistance in life, you kind of like wait.
That's a good way to think about it. So I want to stay on the topic of fitness. What got you into fitness in the first place?
Then in the first place, oh my gosh, broken heart.
Always comes back to the man.
Honestly, I know this is so many people can relate to this. I think I was so this is gonna be so funny. I'm gonna talk about a lot of my exes, but I'm not gonna spill the name. They don't deserve they don't deserve
Not on this
this. Not on
platform.
this platform. No, it's just that, okay, so I was so young, 18.
Just for reference, like, how old are you now?
Okay, I'm 26 now.
Turning 26, right?
Yeah.
In a couple. Wait, very soon.
September 8th.
Can't
Virgo
wait.
baby.
Can't wait
Yeah,
for the
so
party. Right,
yeah,
go
I'm
on.
very like, I don't know. I feel like that time I want to be skinny. That's what I want. I always wanted to be skinny, and my ex cheated on me. Yeah. Ooh. Anyways, now you're gonna watch me. You're gonna like. No, 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 no. Okay,
This
whatever.
girl has a lot of trauma.
I know. Honestly, you know what's so funny? I feel like that time it's when you're 18, you just think like when you're broken heart, you facing you experience broken heart, you feel like it's the end of the world. So that's kind of like what pushes me to jump into fitness. I want to be skinny. I want to look. Basically, it's a body revenge things. But then I think in the process, I feel like because I always starve myself for years and years and years. And by the way, this is so stupid of me because before then, I was also ill for long. I think you know that, right? I told you about this. I was ill for so long. I was weak. I literally, like, every time I do something, I need, like, I physically can't. Like, it's gonna make me pass out. And I have a problem in my kidney, and that was the darkest time in my life. And then I grew up in this toxic environment, and it makes me want to lose weight all the time because if I'm not skinny, then I'm not gonna fit in. No one's gonna accept me. So, and then I think it's not long ago, 5 or 6 years ago. I'm like, I'm tired doing this. At some point in life, you're gonna be tired of your own bullshit. And I do. This is one of the things that I also realize. Sometimes I want to help my client and I want to push them to be able to progress, and because I know their potential. I know everybody can achieve their fitness goal, but sometimes you just have to be patient with them because yeah, this just sounds harsh, but some people just need to face that point in life where they like, I'm so done with my own bullshit, and start the ownership,
Yeah, owning their own, like,
owning
yeah,
their,
taking
responsibility.
responsibility. Yeah.
So I think that was what was happened to me. So I started to train properly, and then I feel like, oh, I need to eat more because I cannot have energy to be able to lift, right?
So how long were you doing that like restrictive period where you were focusing on just like being skinny and looking the smallest to the point where you're like a light switch moment where you're like, okay, I need to like eat more, train
It's
harder.
as basically all my life I wanted to be skinny until it was like 5 years ago. Can you imagine? All my life. It's like how bad it is to, I don't know. I'm kind of sick and tired of being in this um, sick and unrealistic society beauty standard, you know? Because you will never fit in if you try to keep up with it. You will never make everybody happy. Like you go to Asia, if you're not skinny, you're not beautiful. You go to the US, if you're not curvy, you're not beautiful. So where you need to go, so you be able to be liked from anyone.
Yeah, there is definitely this huge pressure from social media. And on one hand, I think it's our own responsibility to what we're exposed to because, yes, we can't completely avoid it, right? Like, it's always going to be there, but we can take steps in
Yeah.
order to, like, position ourselves in a place where, like,
Yeah.
we're getting a positive influence. And I think as a society, we got a bit better, or maybe because I'm exposed to like the stuff that I want to see now.
Yeah.
That, but like I know there's still a lot of
Oh,
bullshit
there's
out
a
there.
lot. Yeah.
But yeah, I think like there's a point where we have to take responsibility of
Yeah.
like what we
Yeah.
consume.
Do you think it's like social media? Um, I don't know. What do you think about social media in general?
Ooh, broad
How?
question. Um, I think for the most part, if you can use it correctly, it's positive. I
Yeah.
think it has like we live in a world now where information is so accessible, which can be really great. Like, whenever was it the fact that like you wanted to know something about anything, whether
Yeah.
that's
Learn
research, yeah,
something.
learn something, whether it's kind of what should I be consuming, or like, I don't know, about diet, about exercise, best exercise for growing your glutes. We never were in like a space to be able to access that information within seconds. So I think for most part, think social media is great. It's good for like, it allowed me to connect with so many amazing
Yeah.
people through it, but obviously like there is a
Yeah.
negative to it. But I'll go back to the point of saying it's kind of like a person's responsibility to what they want to
Oh
expose
yeah.
themselves to, and
I'm super agree with that.
you have to take action in order to position
Oh
yourself in
yeah.
a place where you're like surrounded, because you probably heard of the quote like you're the reflection of the five people that are around you. And I think that both applies
This
both to
applies to social media as
social
well.
media as
If you
well.
keep like surround or you following this superficial beauty like and you
Kim K
following, yeah,
kind of
Kim
like,
Kai, and you think that's real, you know?
yeah.
Like I don't judge people who get their body done, but also like I feel like nowadays so many young people, right? Young women, they cannot have that awareness yet to like kind of what is good for them body, or you know what I mean? I feel like if for some people when they do some surgery or they get the body done for to enhance their body because they're an athlete, it's up to them. But I think they're adult enough and mature enough to understand why they getting those things done. But for young woman, I'm feeling really sad because I have a friend from LA and she was like, oh yeah, I got my lips done since I was 15. I was like, your parents allow that? And she's like, so normal in LA. Like everybody's got their lips done, everything's done, boobs done in the early age. And I was like, you're not even, your body's still developing in that age.
But it's mad to think that, and it just shows how much your environment
Yeah.
influences your action. Like, again, going back to like who you're surrounding yourself with. And I think as well, your upbringing plays such a huge role on
Yeah.
like who you become as a person.
Yeah.
Maybe we can touch on that because you obviously spend a lot of time by yourself growing up, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, like we were kind of speaking off air about like your relationship with your parents.
Yeah.
Do you think the way you are now is like a reflection of like what happened to you as you were a child
Yeah.
and things that you had to go through?
I think so. That's obviously plays a huge role. I mean, I grew up with my parents until around 12 or 13, and then I moved with my grandma. So I'm always away from my actual parents. But since I was a kid, I just always alone. I need to take care of myself. I feel like I'm being forced to be mature, because like when my parents are not around, then I need to like taking care of myself, and I'm always constantly in a surviving mode, I guess, until like not long ago, and I'm like, it's affect me so much in everything, even like I feel like I was hyper independent, like I don't need a man, I don't need anyone's help, I can do my own thing.
Yeah,
And I feel like you
independence
can
goes so far,
you
right?
can yeah, you can relate to that for sure,
Yeah,
because
100%. Yeah,
we both.
I feel like getting to the point where you can be happy in yourself without needing
Yeah.
any like external validation or needing somebody in order to like
There's
lubricate
the
your own experience.
Yeah.
But then there's a point to where you're almost like resenting
Oh
any
yeah.
help, any
Yeah.
people. Um,
Deep down you feel like you don't deserve it. It's all the pattern from your childhood. So everything you're so this is so important, how you aware on how you, like, you need to be aware of how you act right now. Is it you try in your surviving mode, or is it really who you are now, because I keep telling myself nowadays, like, I'm safe. I don't need to parent my parents anymore. I'm safe right now. I'm not be with my mom or my grandma, so act like you're safe. Don't try to defend yourself so much, because that's me. I was like putting my guards really high. That's kind of affecting my relationship with my ex, also my previous one, who say I gain weight a lot.
I still can't believe that.
He's like, I feel like there is too alpha in a relationship with him. So this is the thing why we should working on it. Like I've I believe in feminine and masculine energy. I believe in the universe. I believe in all of this thing. So since I work in on my, so don't get me wrong about, or don't get people wrong when they say masculine energy or feminine energy. Is it you look like a man, like masculine? No, masculine energy is the energy. It's energy that you're trying to like like how do I say, masculine is with a man. When they're in their masculinity, they protect you, provides you. So us as a woman, we're nurturing. So that side of me, I feel like I was buried them, because I'm always like trying to protect myself, always super self-aware. But now I'm trying to working on my feminine energy. I feel like my guards is a little bit down. So that's allowing me to attract my tribe, basically.
But that's a result of a lot of like reflecting, right?
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't get to the point of
Oh
recognizing
yeah.
that you did put up that guard if you didn't take like active action in order to what journal,
Yeah.
maybe see like go
Yeah,
to
that
therapy,
helps
right?
so much. That helps so much. And also one of the things with the feminine energy is, okay, these people maybe will be upset about what I'm going to say,
Don't hold
but
back.
I'm not gonna holding it back. But yeah, being in your feminine energy is sometimes you just surrender. It doesn't mean you, okay, I wanna Let's say in fitness, I want to lose weight. I don't do anything. I'm not going to do. No. Sometimes, like in the feminine energy, when you're in your feminine energy, it's like, okay, there you have a problem, you know? You let it be. You cannot control that. It's out of from your hand. If you can do something about it, do it. But if you cannot do, let it be. And don't act on it, you know? You can focus on another thing, you know?
Yeah, it's very, I feel like it's easier said than done
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. And
Oh,
for a long time myself, I was in the state of wanting to control everything. I mean, for majority of my life, until this is the reason why I got the
oh yeah,
tattoo.
I
Like,
love that.
go with the flow. But it wasn't until like I was like, okay, I need to surrender. I
Yeah.
need to enter my feminine a lot more. I
Yeah.
can't control things that are literally uncontrollable. And this is why I feel, well, for me anyway, but I know like a lot of people get stuck because they think they can
Yeah.
control every situation, and then they're like just disappointed and
Yeah.
disheartened all the time.
It is hard though. It is hard, especially when you've been through a lot. So one thing you can give to other people when you see that is like you give them a compassion, because everyone is in their own journey, you know, even though like I feel like I heard this before, but I never really like tap in until it's something happened, you know. There's something like you cannot really explain in this world, like where it's just the universe work. But I feel when you're keeping your heart open, there will be like a way through it. Because if you're closing your heart, then how it's tap into you, you know. But it's hard to open your heart when, especially when you've been through a lot, you get hurt, you know, you wounded. But trust the timing, trust the process.
Yeah, so obviously, like you're very like independent, strong. You know what you want. You're
Oh, I know
literally,
it.
you're like you go into the gym and be able to like squat more than majority of the guys there. Do you find that guys find you intimidating?
Oh my gosh. We have like this is so funny because one day I was like, what's wrong with me?
What's not wrong with you?
Honestly, I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, why why this guy is like, you know, I'm just like I have no idea. But I was asking the boys, our friends. So I was like, guys, be honest. I just want to know from men's perspective, what do you guys think about me? And they were like, which part? I just, I just want to know, like, what do you guys picture of me, like me as a person? And they were like, you support it together. You're so like independent. We're like sometimes it's intimidating, and I was like, what? I am not like that, you know. I mean, of course, I feel like I'm happy with myself, but I don't think that I don't know, babes. It's like what you know when you're just so focused on yourself, you don't even know why you make people intimidated, you know, and like with some men. But I feel like right now, I was talking about this to my friend Simona as well. We just like I asked her what's because I feel like she's spiritually very like aware, and she was like, you know what, it's just not the right man.
She's so right though. I
Yeah.
feel like if a man is
In their
secure in
pure masculinity, I'm telling you, they're like, you powerful woman,
come
come
here,
here,
baby.
baby. Okay, guys, this is the thing. There is a two different thing. Okay, people who's physically strong and oh my gosh, you have no idea how many comments that I get from women like saying she's so masculine. I'm like, what do you mean by that?
And do you mean like energy or actually looks?
Energy, I can say that I was like that, you know, but now
Yeah.
I think I'm feminine. But like I think it's look wise or what I'm trying to do in my social media, because I you know, my social media now, my Instagram is disabled, guys, but I was like, I share a lot about training, how to build strength, you know, physically strong body. And I think like for some people they take away this as me trying to preach about, you know, women should, you know, like lift heavy as a masculine energy thingy. I don't know if that makes sense, but like yeah. So that comment was not about. It's not a good, not me like trying to share. Uh, okay, it's like me being feminist, you know? I'm not. I'm not feminist. I need men. I feel like that was sad because when I see this message, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I never feel more feminine in my life. Like I feel so feminine now. Even though I live heavy, I
So you received that message from another woman?
women comment sometimes like I'm promoting a woman to be stronger than men. I'm like, it's not what I wanted to share in the world. You know, I want people to build strong body, and there's two different things with women who are want to compete with men and they think they are stronger than men, and powerful women. You know, and what I want to empowering in my platform is become a powerful woman. You know, so it's not us trying to make a feminism move or trying to beat other men or prove us in this world that we are stronger than them. No, it's literally like to have a strong body helps you to live longer.
For sure. And I
You
think
know?
a lot of people fail to recognize, well, people that didn't actually get into strength training don't really have a full picture of how much it translates into you being strong, like
Yeah.
internally as a person. And it translates into, like you mentioned, that fitness like literally changed your life. And I feel like it has
If I
for
want to
me
say
too.
something, it makes me emotional because I was ill for long and I was so weak. Like it is anytime I could die. I'm not even joking about it. Like how many times I come to the hospital to check myself. Literally, my mom spent all her saving to basically save my life. And now that I'm grateful, I come to the gym. I literally, of course, I still have aesthetic goals. Who doesn't want to, you know? But it's not my main goals. I come to the gym, I purely feel grateful that I can move my body. I think that this is what people take for granted when they have their health in their life. Touch wood that people will experience my what I've been through. I don't want people to going through that experience, but coming from that dark place and now that I'm able to be here and speak about fitness, I'm grateful. I'm super grateful. So every time I come to the gym, it's not the time where I'm like, oh, trying to beat a man. No, it's my appreciation for life, you know?
Yeah.
Because when you've been there, when you experience that dark moment in your life and you know that anytime you can die and now you can move, you know how happy you are, you know?
Yeah,
So,
it definitely builds you up as a person, like like the resilience, the discipline, the like gratitude that you
yeah.
have, and it's something that you can only experience when you get really into it. Because I think there's always not okay. There not always has to be an external motivation to start, but it often stems from the fact that you want to change your body, and I
Yeah.
think like we shouldn't kind of like demonize
Yeah.
that because
Oh,
like it's
yeah,
fine,
no,
like
yeah.
that's how you got into it, because you just
Yeah.
were like, okay, I
Wanted
want
to
to
be
be skinny.
skinny, you know?
Same with me, like I wanted to lose weight, wanted to be skinny. Afterwards you realize there's so much
Yeah,
more
so
to
much more.
fitness. It's so like multifaceted
Yeah.
outside of just like looking a
Like
certain
even me,
way.
like I was being skinny, I was like literally I throw away what my health, you know? And now that it's like it's always the time when you feel you tired of your own bullshit, you know? You need to I feel like what pushes me to keep going is me being grateful about where I am right now. It's possible wanting to achieve your goals and also at the same time be grateful for what you have. That's going to push you forward even more. Because if it's coming from hate, you're gonna at some point you're gonna feel so depressed, and that's why a lot of people feel frustrated when they don't see results because their main goals is to achieve this, you know, aesthetic goals. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with having wanting a huge ass. You know,
Yes, of
but
course.
it's not gonna be the only drive you wanna do your fitness, you know.
I think you need to have something deeper
Yeah.
because a lot of people talk about like not being motivated and finding
Yeah.
motivation. But if you only have a short-term goal or a
Yeah.
goal that's like solely tied to your aesthetics,
Yeah.
like you're not going to get far. And this is where you're always going to struggle with that motivation, with like using exercise as a either burning calories or building up like a
Yeah.
body. But if you have a really strong reason behind even
Yeah.
behind why wanting to change,
Yeah.
you know, whether that be like, I don't know, fearing getting into photos, or like feeling super insecure in yourself every time you go out or you're around your like girlfriends,
Yeah.
that like that you can't even be present on a
Yeah.
night out, for example, because you're just like so self-conscious. And having that strong desire to increase your confidence, not necessarily by like a change in body, but
Yeah.
just in terms like internally, to
Yeah,
have like
mentally, yeah.
mentally, that will keep you going. Like you won't run out of motivation, because
Yeah.
you're always going to bring yourself back to the point where you're like, I was out once
Yeah.
and I wasn't even being present. I just hated my body. And you're
Yeah.
instantly going to be like, I want to go in to clear my head,
Yeah.
to never have to like go
And
through those
it is a
feelings again.
lifetime work. So for some people, they just like, oh, this is only 2 years goals, and then they stop when they.
2 years is even long. You
Yeah.
get some people it's like, what
I
can
don't
I
know.
achieve in 2 months? And it's like,
Maybe some people planning their wedding in 2 years beforehand. It's gonna be me because I'm a Virgo. Like I just think like it's a if you see fitness as your lifestyle, you are not gonna. I mean, even though you're lacking of motivation one day, I mean, me still lacking of motivations, even though I love training. Don't get me wrong, I love training so much. I love moving my body, but I still lack of motivation sometimes. But I know this is my routine, my lifestyle. So I'm not gonna leave fitness behind straight away. So having this, how to build the mindset, like you see fitness as your lifestyle, is to do it. There is no magic door. You need to do it again and again and again every single day. I will say, if you just start gradually. Like, let's say if you never work out before, don't go to the gym 4 times 5 times a week. You're gonna feel so sore, and then the next day, this is not for me. Step by step, baby step. But people don't want that because they don't have the passions.
yeah, or like that delay
Yeah.
gratification as well. Or another thing is just like having too high expectations. I think it's good
Yeah.
to set your bar high
Oh,
and like
yeah.
be a high achiever. But if it's too
But
high,
breaking down to the small steps, this small step leads up to your big steps. So, what's sometimes people, everybody, I believe everybody have dreams. They give up on their dreams because they cannot break down to how to get it there. Step by step. They just have too much rush in their self. Like, I need to get there now or never. You will never get there if you don't take any steps. And how to discover a new phase is to basically take this phase in front of you right now. So instead of skipping the first step and jumping to the hundredth one, like it's not possible. Logically, you can think it's not possible.
yeah, but I think we live in a world now where we just want results yesterday,
Yeah.
And I
Okay,
even
I
had
go to the gym right now. Tomorrow, my clothes will be like a pitch. If it's not like that, I'm leaving the gym.
Yeah,
No,
it's
there's
like,
no way.
yeah.
Like, honestly, I never thought I will be able to lift 140 kg deadlift. I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
almost twice of my body
Strong
weight.
fucking queen.
It's more than my it's, oh my god, it's more than my body weight. So what how do I able to do that is by training again and again and again. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hitting PR every session. That's so stupid. I will never promote that. That's why every time I hit PR, I never say anything. It's not because I'm not celebrating it. I'm celebrating it. Oh my gosh. Don't get me uh, after session, I'm like eating dinner. I'm like, okay, showering myself with all the. No. But this is the thing. Like, celebration, it doesn't mean you need to show it to other people. But nowadays we live in a social media where you need to show everything. So I don't really show it on social media because I don't want to promote that. It's so stupid. Because how to build strength, you need to take step by step as well. So the first week, I will say you do. Okay, if your goal is really want to build strength and you want to be able to lift 100 kg, let's say, squats. So the first session, we will try to find out what is your one max reps, but slowly, still like watching your form. Let's say, okay, you can be able to lift 70 kg squats in a good form the first week. So next week we're gonna start with 50% from 70 kg, and then the second week 60%, and then the third week 70%, and then 4 week 80% or 90%, and then after that we can hit PR. That's how you hit PR. But the more advanced you are, it takes even longer. All the power lifters, don't get me wrong, when they are about to compete, they're not hitting PR on the day, the day before they compete. They hit PR on the day where they compete. So training smart is so important, but
Same with marathon runners, right? They don't go running
yeah,
marathons every single
no,
day leading up to the
no.
marathon. So why would
So
we go
yeah,
in
you
with
waste the energy. So
yeah.
how do this is why I feel like most of people doesn't know. But nowadays everyone is like, oh, strong is like hitting PR every sessions, and then when you don't hit PR, you feel like, oh my gosh, my body is so tired, or my body is weak. No, you don't hit PR every week. If you want to, again, what's your goal?
Yeah, maybe let's talk about the comparison though, because I get a lot of my clients, the girls saying ones that are only starting with strength training, resistance training, comparing themselves to other girls in the gym, being like, she looks so strong or she's able to lift X amount. It's like, why am I not there? What would you say on the
Okay,
comparison side of
I
things?
think this is also okay. Before we talk about that, you need to put this in your mind that your joint is not as strong as your muscle. Okay, so I think this people need to understand first before you want to lift heavy. So I injure myself. I injured my TCL. I was so into CrossFit. I was 55 kg. I do snatch or clean. What is it? I don't know. So I do that 60 kg. So it's more than my body weight. I can do it, but then it's broke my TCL. Yeah. And then it was like huge setback for me. And then I cannot move my hands for a month. I thought that that's gonna be the last time I do strength training or any type of training because my wrist. So how can I live without the. But yeah, magic happened. Not magic happened. I mean, I was doing a lot of therapy, and then it's completely healed, but I need to be very careful with it. But it's also something that I learned because I was there too. I was that lifter who's so in adrenaline rush, always want to lift more, always want to um, hit PR. I get too excited. And I feel like if I don't hit PR, then I'm weak. But then since that happened, I was like, okay, I need to train smart. So I learned more, and then now I found that time I found out that okay, I have to be patient. Every time I want to do PR, so I need to prepare myself, and also I cannot compare myself to lifters who's been training for 10 years. Their bone density is completely different than us. So how to increase bone density is by strength training. How long? Takes years, babe. So you cannot compare yourself to someone who's been lifting for years and years. Their bone is insanely strong, their joint is insanely strong. Even though we have the strength, but you need to remember your joint. So take your time. So that's what I do now that I've been training for 6 years right now. And I will say it takes me 6 years to be able to lift 140 kg.
And I think it's good to point out the time
Yeah.
frame that it took you, because I often also get questions about it's like, oh, when will I start seeing results, or when will I be able to lift that? And it's like, you need to think long
Yeah.
term, and you need to remember your chapter 1
Yeah.
is somebody else's chapter 50 that you're trying to compare to.
Exactly.
They're not built any differently than you. Yeah, the genetics come into play too, but in terms of the only difference between you and them is that they've been doing it longer. They've been
Yeah.
putting in
They
more
started
reps.
before you. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's literally it.
Also, I'm not genetically strong. I'm not genetically, sorry, I'm not genetic, no, I'm not naturally love sports as well. And that's why if I can do it, I know other people can do it. It takes time and it's like be patient. But now I feel like instead of you feel disheartened, you should excited. And now I'm excited to see myself in 5 years. I'm like, okay.
That's a good way to view it, being
Yeah.
excited about it rather than
Yeah.
upset
Can you
about
imagine, like, you see yourself if you keep going right now? Because if I look back, I'm like, damn, bitch, that was me.
That's actually a good exercise to do. I've done that with my business coach recently, where he was just like, okay, where were you 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And then just kind of putting that into like perspective of like how much
You
I
can-
changed as a
yeah.
person in 5 years. It's like, if that happened in 5 years, where am I gonna be in another
exactly.
5?
And now that you're aware of it, it's even better. I'm
Yeah,
telling
it makes you.
you.
I was
Yeah.
just so fired up
I'm not-
and motivated. I was like, let's freaking
Dude,
go.
I'm turning 26 and I'm honestly, I cannot wait to see myself in Yo, I'm like, okay, all of my ex, it's your loss. It's your loss. I'm gonna keep thriving and thriving, baby. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
And it's like you should be excited about the journey, not like feel disheartened. I feel like everybody start from somewhere, so you should never compare yourself. And also like
Scientifically.
scientifically, you are not gonna be able to live that your joint is just not, cannot keep up with your muscle. You can build muscle, yes, in a year, but your joints still need time. So think about it, and think your body as your best friend. You're not gonna fuck up your best friend, you know what I mean?
That's actually a good point. It's like, speak to yourself as if you were to speak to your best friend,
Yeah.
like, because, and that goes
Unless
back.
you say she thinks you're a ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you would want the
you
best.
don't. Yeah,
You would
that's
want
the
the
thing.
best.
You
Like,
always want the best for your best friend. So
yeah.
start to treat yourself like your best friend. That's what I think it's a good reminder to not like rushing your timing.
So I
No.
think we're coming up to an hour, which is so
Really?
sad because
Oh
I
my
feel like
gosh,
we
we have
still
so
have
much
such to
to
talk. We have to do a part 2
I
on
know,
this.
part 2.
But just to wrap things up, I'm going to ask you just like quick fire questions.
Okay. I'm nervous.
Okay, so deadlifts or squats?
Deadlift. Oh my gosh, that's so smart.
Ooh, that was quick. Should you do your like Saturday session? It's like, what did you say to me before? It was just like, was it your sister? It was like, yeah, like normal girls go out on Saturday.
Yeah, then my sister messaged me like, you know what, normal girl, they will go on a like date on Saturday. You go deadlift.
Yeah, you literally come into the gym with the boys and have like a 3-hour deadlifting session.
I'll drag all my boys to come deadlift with me on Saturday. I'm telling you.
I love that. Okay, training in the morning or in the evening?
Morning.
Book or podcast?
I love podcasts now.
Do you have any favorites at the moment?
Transform.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I genuinely love it. But and also number 2, Diary of CEO, Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, that's fire.
Oh,
He has
fire.
so many good
I met
guests.
him in person.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
No, it's not like that.
I was like, I feel like this is a
Oh,
story for
oh my
another.
God.
It's not like that, but like, I'm blushing.
Oh my gosh, I'm blushing. I can't.
What if he's watching this? No.
Oh my god. No. Hi, Steven. No. Oh.
Story for podcast number 2. All right, night out or night in?
Night in. I'm a grandma. Honestly, I'm a grandma, guys. You know me. I'm like, you stop your. I cannot stop yawning when I go out. You? Night out, you're night in. You can do both, yeah?
I do love both.
Yeah, I can see that.
Recently, like in the last few months, I've kind of like stepped away from like alcohol, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I still
Oh,
enjoy,
yeah. You
like,
still can have fun without alcohol.
yeah. Even
It's
more,
that.
to be honest. Like, sometimes I feel like, I don't think in
It's
Bali,
it's even more fun when you're sober, when you're conscious.
You remember shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
You're not gonna the next day you're gonna feel tired. Of course you're gonna feel tired by dancing, but you're not gonna feel hangover.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, it's the mental aspect for me, because I can still be hangover, wake up in the morning, go train hard, do work, but mentally, like, I just do
Yeah.
not feel myself for like a couple of
Yeah.
days. And it's
And
just,
it's
like,
not worth it, yeah.
Especially like, for us having a business where it's a
Oh.
lot of creativity that goes into it as
Oh
well.
yeah. Oh, this is the thing also. I feel creativity flows when you're vibrating higher. So when you're tired, when you're like mentally not okay, you're vibrating lower. So that's why it's hard for you to create some things. And that really makes sense.
Yeah, but I found definitely like since moving here, and like I kind of mentioned it on my Instagram, I got we'll talk about alcohol in
Oh, yeah,
relation to
yeah.
it in next podcast, because I got a good response to like my stories that I put up about just like, you know, wanting to move away from it. But I don't know if it's like, yes, Bali has really good nights out. There's like really good beach clubs,
Yeah.
clubs, whatever, good music. So I feel like you don't need it, but also the people you surround
Oh,
yourself
yeah,
with.
that's
You
so
know, we
true.
can go out and not drink. And I
Yeah.
think like since we like became
Yeah.
friends, knowing that you're like, oh, we'll have 1 or 2 drinks and still like can
It's
party
people.
hard.
It's all about people around you too.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're going out with someone who are your kind of people, it's just fun. You just have fun no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you surrounding by people like loves drinking, it's not aligned with what you believe. I think it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna. You're gonna dancing or like you whatever, and then they hide. They don't even know what they're talking about.
For sure. And
So,
it's a lot harder. And it's like, it's nothing against people
oh
like doing
no,
that at all, like if they want to, but it's more so when there's pressure to do it, whether
yeah,
that's like where the people are actually like almost like forcing it on you, or
yeah,
subconsciously there is a pressure. But like I think it comes, sometimes it's not even the people like telling you to drink, but you feel, because you're not safe around those people,
yeah.
you feel
I
like you
did that
need it.
once. I was like, I need to drink. I cannot deal with these people.
Oh, I've done it so many
Yeah.
times, especially when going on
But
nights out with
sometimes,
people that I
but you
didn't
know
know.
what? Sometimes me and my girls, like, I love them. They're my tribe. Literally, like, I drink, but we all like because we're the same frequencies, so it's fun. And sometimes like, I don't say I don't drink at all. But I think like, yeah, home is
That night
wherever
in
you feel.
Sabaya. It's like when Vici drinks, you have to like pick her up off the
Oh my gosh.
like every once
No, yeah.
once in 6 months.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like I feel like I'm okay with like night out sometimes, but I think it depends on who I'm surrounded with. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I think it's nice. Like myself, I'm not gonna be here and being like, oh my god, I'm not gonna drink and
Yeah.
like this stuff, because
So
it
many
could be
things to
like,
do in Bali.
yeah, and that's another reason from getting out from Ireland. It's just like, because there's so much to do, there's almost never like a need
Yeah.
to have to go out to kind of like, oh well, what else are we gonna do, you know?
Yeah. As I think it's also like now that you're here, like I think you need to enjoy your time,
For sure.
in Bali.
Yes. Okay, well, let's wrap this up.
Wrap
It
this
was
up.
such an enjoyable conversation.
I love to be here.
Yeah, that was so
I'm
nice.
grateful.
And thank you. Thank you for joining me. And I'm sure like the listeners are going to get so much value out of like what you were saying. Do you want to tell them where they can find you? I know.
I don't know, my
Yours.
Instagram got disabled, so I think you guys can find me for now in TikTok, Vici Bonnett. So it's VICIBONNET. And YouTube. So I'm gonna focus more on YouTube for sure. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be posting my YouTube as well.
I am excited. I'm excited for this and your YouTube and to see you grow. And yes, we're going to have an episode
We're gonna
too.
thrive in this life.
Yes, that's it. High energy.
Yeah, high energy, baby.
Woohoo, let's
Manifest.
go.